Ba-da-da-da.
Dun, 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 do 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 do.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Dun, 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 do 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 do.
That's nice.
Yep, 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 yep.
3 guys and a bear are back with more playoffs. And now here's Coach Krendor. Do 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 do. And Bear.
Hey,
Whoa.
How's it going?
I feel like you can hear the joy in the Adam Gaseless voice of Rob.
Yeah, you're free, Rob.
Well, see, again, it's a 1-0 type of situation.
Right.
They've gotten through the first hurdle, which is firing Adam Gase.
Mhm.
Now the next hurdle is hiring the next coach, and I don't know who they're gonna fucking hire, but there's been a lot of rumors about lots of different people, and some of them are very scary. So
For the next head coach position, the New York Jets hire Adam Gase. Congrats, Rob. You did it. Way to go.
It's,
You circled back around.
they have brought in Robert Saleh. Saleh? I still know how to say his name.
yeah.
For a second interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, that is good.
Apparently, yeah, like Robert, he's the Niners O coordinator, right?
D coordinator. But apparently
he's the
he's
Niners
like
D
a really
coordinator.
well-liked guy, really smart. Like,
Oh.
I mean, so he's
Yeah,
not the
I heard.
offensive guru you're looking for, but
He's no Adam Gase.
he's still pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, all right. I mean, if we end up getting a defensive guy, then whatever.
hang on. I just got my wife. My wife just got me this letter I got in the mail. Hold on. It's from the New York Jets. This is weird.
Oh, okay. All right.
It says, Dear Mr. Larrabee, we hereby invite you to a cordial meet and greet / luncheon with the head coach, general manager, and other members of the New York Jets staff for a head coach interview. This
Wow.
is so
Wow.
strange.
You're gonna meet the head coach to interview for the head coach.
Oh, damn it. Fuck you. Pick out the one thing.
I do see.
Congrats, Bear.
Yeah, congratulations.
That is incredible. Oh, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, you're a fan of the AFC East, and we pretty much, only hire from the AFC East.
Well,
I mean,
fun,
I know the Jets.
Yeah.
fun story. The NFC East might be a little. They might dip into there because Doug Peterson got fired from the Eagles, and they said
I heard
Jets. Jets could go Doug Peterson. That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, the Jets subreddit is really negative on Doug Peterson. However, I will say, I mean, just like on the Eagles front, it kind of feels like a bad decision, doesn't it? I mean, to me, granted, they did horrible this year, but I mean, he's been with the team for 4 years, and they were in the playoffs every one of their years, and except for this one, and then he also got them their first Super Bowl, and they fired him the first losing season.
Honestly, I'm kind of with you on this. Like, okay, so his overall record over 4 years with the Eagles, he's 42-37-1, which is not good.
It's not great, yeah.
Like, it's like you said though, like it's mostly about the playoff performance, and as it should be. And
Yeah.
he did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
they took them to the playoffs every year except for this one.
According to
Playoffs.
Ian
Playoffs.
Rappaport, they said Doug Peterson it boiled down to he was sick of people telling him what to do.
Oh.
So there's a little management coaching,
Oh, so it was like a mutual.
Yeah, it looks like they're
parting
both
ways.
owners.
All right.
And I mean, I think there's a whole like the Wentz Jalen Hurts thing, like the last game of the
Right.
season, where like there's like tanking stuff. Like I think there's a lot going on, probably that nobody really saw. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't know if he's an amazing coach. I feel like he's a slightly better Mike McCarthy.
That might be true. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, like because the league's changed so much with how coaches and like young QBs come in and how effective they are so quickly, and how like your window with a young QB is their rookie contract now. Which I mean, like it always kind of has been, but it was I feel like it's especially more so now.
Well, until you pay him $1 billion.
Right, exactly, yeah. So, but that's the thing, right? Is that like, so did Doug Peterson ride the hype of a well-constructed team that he came in? Because, like, look, when a head coach comes in, right, they get a roster that's bad, but usually has like a lot of cap space or draft picks or whatever, and they rebuild the team and whatnot. So I think, was he riding the high, or was he a good coach? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure. I know the Jets
subreddit. Throw the dice on it?
What?
You willing to throw the dice on that?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. If Joe Douglas hires Doug Peterson, the reason that he's doing it is because it's the fucking good old boys club and he knows them, right?
I like that you got Doug in your name as well. You're hired.
Well, because I mean, Joe Douglas was the GM sort of for the Eagles with Doug Peterson, and then like if Doug Peterson gets fired and Joe Douglas, gives him a fucking, hey, here's a pat on the back from my buddy. Here, come take this job. As often happens in the NFL, then. It's the same old shit. And I don't know. I don't know what happens, but I'm hoping that we look honestly at like good coaches, and Joe Douglas is a good GM who can decide on that well and doesn't just pick his buddy because he wants to get his buddy a job. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's the Jets, so flip a coin.
Yeah, it is the Jets.
Yeah,
it really is the Jets.
Yeah.
On the other side, the Eagles are strongly considering quarterback guru Adam Gase to come in and fix Carson Wentz.
I think that was a joke tweet. Actually,
it's got to be a joke tweet, right?
That was a tweet you sent from that was like PFT commentator, right?
Oh, is that a joke thing?
I think that Twitter account is like they're like a bar stool.
Oh yeah, I think they are.
Yeah,
it's got.
I think it's a gag, okay. But I mean, it would be hilarious though.
In that case. Well, they got me. By the way, everybody, like, going back to that, everybody was like quarterback guru Adam Gase, like back in the day, and then when you really think about it, it was like what, Jay Cutler and like Ryan Tannehill who got better after he got away from Adam Gase.
Oh yeah,
seriously, like the only reason that this fucking guy got a job for so many goddamn years was because of Peyton goddamn Manning. Peyton Manning going around telling everybody, oh, Adam Gase, man, he's the best. He was the best OC I ever had. He was the greatest. And you know what? I understand. I get it now. I get why like Peyton had a great year with Adam Gase and Peyton thinks of Adam Gase as like a great coach. Because Adam Gase probably didn't input anything at all and just let Peyton run the fucking offense.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's probably what fucking happened. And that's why Peyton was like, oh yeah, he's great. He just let me call the plays. It was fantastic. So yeah, no, seriously, like if you look at his record, even as offensive coordinator, because like there are a lot of coaches that are like that are just like bad head coaches, but were good coordinators. And like after they stop being head coaches, it's like, well, sure, why not be a coordinator? Because I mean, you were good at that.
Josh McDaniel,
right? Yeah. But Adam Gase. Like literally all of his years, it's like 30th, 32nd, 31st, 30th, 30th, like 28th. Like his offensive rankings are fucking horrible, except for like 1 year when he had Peyton Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. So it's like, Yeah,
it's Adam Gase, folks. Where's it gonna go? Nobody knows. We do know Dan Quinn, former Falcons head coach, will now be the defensive coordinator of Dallas.
Oh, okay.
So good for him. Then the Raiders' new defensive coordinator is Gus Bradley, who's actually a pretty good defensive coordinator. But the Raiders' Twitter tweeted out a picture of Ken Wisenhunt while saying Gus Bradley is hired. So Raiders, everybody, Raiders.
Wasn't Gus Bradley a coach in college?
He was a coach for the Jaguars for a while, which is kind of like a college team. And then just some other little things. Packers signed Jared Veld here off the Colts practice squad, even though they just lost last week. So he's literally one of the first players ever to go from one playoff team to another playoff team the following week. Granted, he played with us last year in the playoffs, so he knows the system. So that's probably why they're doing it. Plus, he's actually pretty good, and he looks like Wreck-It Ralph. Dude's massive.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat. And then the Bills are signing Devontae Freeman because Zach Moss went on the IR, which is bad.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So those are all the roster moves. And left tackle Anthony Costanzo of the Colts, first pick in 2011, has retired.
Yeah.
So sad news there.
He said it's the first time ever that's happened, right? That a person's been traded from a playoff team that just was knocked out of the previous round to a team that is now still competing. Because like that's crazy to me that can even happen.
Yeah.
You know? Like transactions like that are even allowed at that point.
Well, I guess it's because like most of the time, if you go from like one team, you're cut, and you go to another one, like you got to learn everything I do. But the fact that he was on the team last year, helps him just fit right in. So I think that's kind of the only reason. But yeah, I don't even know why that's allowed, or maybe it's like a COVID thing.
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
because like essentially the team. It has to do, I think, largely with like money, because you know the teams have to cut players before like certain specific deadline dates. So they
I always assume that was before the playoffs, though. You know.
Well, there are different ones, right? Like they're not. It's not always the same, and it's negotiated player to player and like agent to agent and stuff. But like the other thing is, and so like in a case like this, a guy, you know, the Colts will, you know, try to cut their cap immediately after they're out of the playoffs, and they cut players, and then he's an unrestricted free agent. So technically, there's nothing stopping any team from picking him up.
Right.
Really.
Okay.
So he just probably was like, "Hey, there's a good chance to win, and I've already played there." Like, all right,
like, and he's probably signing like some like mercenary contract where he plays, you know, for like a game or something.
They also said somebody was like, I was unaware players could even do that. Somebody said normally they can't. It's a weird situation because of COVID roster rules.
Oh,
so I guess it does.
So this isn't a normal thing. Interesting.
Yeah. So cool. By the way, here I'm gonna link the picture because it's Fusen. It's actually he looks like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, he does actually. God, NFL players, man.
Like he doesn't look. He looks like the Hulk almost. Like the dude doesn't look human.
Yeah,
and
he
there's
looks like three of me, dude.
There's giant like dudes next to him that look like little kids.
Yeah, like those are big guys. The dude on the right is probably like 6'2".
Yeah, all of those people could just strangle me with their breath.
Yeah, he looks like whenever you're creating a character in Dark Souls, he's the guy who like you put the slider for arms all the way to the right, and the chest and shoulders all the way to the right, but you just leave the head.
Like shit, how old is this guy?
I think he's in his 30s now.
Okay.
So
my God.
Yeah. But we had some wild card playoff games.
Playoffs.
So
yeah, I mean, it's a great wild card weekend.
Yeah, it was crazy. 6 games, super wild card weekend, and I liked it. So we had
it was good football.
It was pretty good, except for the Bears game. Colts Bills. Colts Bills is actually a really good game. There was a shitty call at the end, but aside from that,
that was obvious and wrong. But I feel like there's no point in really like harping on that.
Yeah.
What is also a clear takeaway from this is that Phillip Rivers is the world's greatest first round exiter of all time. Like,
he really is. It's impressive now.
It's just a guarantee. Like, and he's gonna play next year. Well, welcome back to the first round, Phillip.
I think we joked about it a few weeks ago, being like, Colts, will probably like get in and lose.
Yeah, I remember it was literally like 5 or 6 weeks ago we were talking about it. Like, oh yeah, it's absolutely gonna happen.
I'm gonna tell you,
all of us called it.
Yeah, it also, by the way, it wasn't even 5 or 6 weeks ago. This has been a running joke the whole season. that Phillip Rivers and the Colts will get into the playoffs and lose in the first round.
Yep.
Well, there we go.
So
Mission accomplished, gentlemen.
Bills honestly looked pretty great. The Colts actually missed a field goal, which ended up being a big factor in this game. Another big factor was I thought the Frank Vogel, I think that's the coach of the Colts, I thought his play calling was ass.
Really?
First drive of the game, I think it was the first drive of the game, they were like passing through the Bills. Like they were just shredding them through the air. They get into the like 30-yard line or something, and then they run 3 times in a row. And I was like, you literally just passed on them like you're like destroying them, and then you just run. Like, I don't understand. It's like if you have a running back like Henry and you run 3 times in a row for like 20 yards, and it's like, now let's just pass 3 times now. It's like, what? Yeah. So that was dumb. They also had a really dumb punt. Like, that was a running theme this week. All the teams that lost had really dumb, like, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and like on the other team's 40, and they would just punt.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Titans punt was just,
it was bad.
Yeah.
Cowardly, dude.
And I noticed, like, you can't do that in today's NFL. Like, you have to go for it. You got to put up points.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like the that like fundamental game theory thing, right? Of that starting game theory thought experiment of like picking A or B. If everybody's going for it on 4th, you can't be the one not. You know,
yeah.
Like because then you're just gonna lose. Like you just will. And you know, I don't know. It is frustrating that there are still coaches in the NFL that are timid about going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, there's actually a Twitter called Surrender Index.
Yeah,
and it's really good. It decides, it uses like statistics and some algorithm to figure out how bad of a punt decision you've made.
Yeah.
And all the teams that lost this week made like terrible punt decisions, which was kind of funny. Even just looking at it, like the Titans made a few punts that were in like the 80th and 99th percentile of like terrible decisions.
Yeah.
And I think the Colts made 1 or 2. It was
the
bad.
Titans punted on 4th and 2 on the Ravens 40. I think that was the one that was like just
well behind, right? Like as well.
Yeah,
it was really bad. But hey, you know what? Also, the Bills played great. So,
they did.
I mean, we kind of expected it, but Bills look really good. And I think it's gonna be a big test when they play the Ravens because
that's gonna be a great game. That's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be really good.
Because I'll be honest, like they're not exactly teams that are constructed similarly, but like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson play pretty similarly.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a fun matchup.
Yeah. Here it was. Indianapolis decided to punt to Buffalo from the Buffalo 42 on 4th and 5 with 12 seconds remaining in the first while losing 3-7. With a surrender index of 26.77, this punt ranks at the 99.3rd percentile of cowardly punts of the 2020 season and 98th percentile of all punts since 2009.
Ugh.
Like, you're on the Buffalo 42, and you're losing 3-7. You're in their territory, and it's like, I don't know. It just seems dumb. And it apparently was. So, I mean, overall the stats, you had Phillip Rivers, 27-46, 309, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 78 yards and a touchdown. Josh Allen was 26 of 35, 324, 2 touchdowns. And he ran for 54 and a touchdown.
Josh Allen is killing it.
Yeah, he's been just dominating.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it before, but I feel it bears repeating. I was very wrong about Josh Allen.
Bears repeating.
Virus threat protection Windows Defender, thank you.
Oh no.
And Stephon Diggs had 128 yards and a touchdown. So I think
also killing it.
Yeah. Oh, he's really fucking killing it. I mean, I think that Stephon Diggs is the main reason their offense exploded this year. Yeah. And I don't think there's any.
He's the X factor.
Yeah.
Exploded like the knees of half of the San Francisco 49ers in game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed that number 1 wide receiver. And then, I mean, they have a solid, like, 2 and 3. Like, Gabriel Davis had 4 catches, 85. Cole Beasley, 7 catches, 57. So, I mean.
But the gap from 2 to 1 is pretty big.
Yeah.
It is. It is pretty big. But.
But even so, I mean, they have a strong receiving core. I mean, with Stephon Diggs there, because I mean, you have a guy like Cole Beasley who's not gonna like blow your tits off or anything, but like he is like solid and a possession guy.
He's
and
like
an
Edelman kind of guy.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like you can throw the ball up to him and like 90% of the time he's going to come down with it.
Can you imagine getting your tits blown off?
That was
No.
I
sad.
cannot.
Will Beasley's not the guy for it, apparently.
Yeah, he would
I
not
will
be
say,
the guy.
if that call at the end would have changed the game, I probably would have been pretty upset. But luckily, it didn't, because like that was a fumble. Like it was very clearly a fumble.
Straight up.
So yeah,
I mean, I know that we need to move past this, but just seriously, there was 2 calls this week with fumbles that were very clearly, obviously fumbles, and the ref was like, "Oh yeah, incomplete." Like, what is the point of having reviews if they're not going to see what millions of other people can see on their own TVs? Even like how can the analyst in New York, who isn't even at the game, clearly say, "Yeah, that's a fumble," but then the officials on the field are like, "Oh yeah, incomplete."
Yeah. I mean, the XFL had the right idea. They had the Sky Judge thing, right? Where it was like a central, judging authority, which is again, they should still just do that in the NFL, if you ask me.
It's so frustrating because it's like, dude, it's clearly a fumble. How is it not a fumble? All of us can see it, but you can't. But the head official on the field can't.
Yeah.
I mean, just get rid of challenges at this point. Who freaking cares? They obviously are not looking.
Yeah.
Or check the betting lines at Vegas.
Yeah.
So
then we had the Rams and the Seahawks. And first big upset. Wowee. This was, well, first I think I knew it was gonna be close because it's a divisional game, right?
Yeah.
These teams just played a few weeks ago, and I believe the Rams, or who won that one? I think the Rams won that one.
I think so.
Seahawks, Rams. It was, or actually, was it just last week? Did they play like last week?
I don't think so.
Why can't I find this stupid NFL games?
Oh, now you got me looking. Hold on.
Oh, it's
Full
49ers
schedule.
Seahawks. It was two weeks ago, and the Seahawks won 20-9. That's what it was. Cam Akers did not play that game though, but this week he did play, and he ran for 131 yards and a touchdown. So that seems to be the difference from that game and this week. John Wolford went 3 of 6 for 29 yards before getting crunched in the head by Jamal Adams, who, by the way, is like falling apart. Not Wolford, but Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
He's getting like super injured, right?
Yeah, he's got like shoulder surgery, wrist surgery. He's got like 3 surgeries lined up. Like, oh my god.
I feel bad. I mean, the thing is, like, he went to. By the way, we were talking about like how shitty Seattle's defense was, but like they turned it around at the end of the season, like, and their numbers picked up heavily, and that was largely because of fucking Jamal Adams, because he's that fucking good, dude. Yeah. But that's part of the problem, is that part of the way that he plays is like Jamal Adams is a safety that's basically a linebacker. So he flies all over the field, gets the shit kicked out of him. They ask him to do everything, right? Like he blitzes, he fucking covers, So yeah, I mean he must have gotten a lot of work in on the. I mean he was pretty much our whole defense, so I'm sure he's their whole defense too.
Oh yeah, no, he most likely was. I mean the Seahawks, in terms of let's see, where were the Seahawks this year in terms of just rushing defense? I'm kind of curious. They were actually pretty okay in rushing defense. Now, I say that, but it also could be because the other team is beating them by a lot, or it's a shootout, so they don't want to run. So a lot of times when you look at these stats, it's like, oh, they're good, and then really it's just the other team isn't running against them and stuff like that. So
well, and on top of that, like their rankings were fucking terrible for like most of the year.
Yeah, they were second worst passing offense or passing defense.
Yeah,
so not good,
but by the end, like after I think like week 9, they picked it up, and they were like a top 15 defense or something.
Yeah, no, they were really good. The Rams defense though is number 1 in points per game, number 1 in passing defense, and number 3 in rush defense. So they are I'd probably say one of the best defenses in football.
Yeah.
And
they
it
have
showed
been for a few years, or basically since they got Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have. Plus, Russell Wilson was 11 of 27, 174, 2 TDs, and a pick six.
Like, he made a few really good throws during
Yeah.
that game, but he was also, in general, pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, but again, it is the top defense in football.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, and he scored 20 points on him, so.
Plus, they see him twice a year. So, I mean, when you play a guy twice a year every year, like, you tend to pick up, how he plays, and I think that helps you a little more.
Yeah.
So he just not a good day. Chris Carson ran for 77. Metcalf had 96 yards and 2 touchdowns, so still did all right. Goff came in. Dude, did you see them show his thumbs?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Like, his one thumb looks normal, and his throwing thumb, it's like twice the size. It's like he's got
really?
3 pins in there. I don't know how he's playing.
It was freaky.
Yeah,
it
was
really freaky.
Yeah.
I know.
A picture of it for you, Rob.
Yeah, so link me because I remember they were talking about it, and he wasn't high fiving people with his throwing hand,
Yeah. It is.
which is yeah.
It does not look good. But
I'm telling you, full body armor, full plate. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly, he still did okay. He went 9 of 19, 155 and a touchdown. Granted, it's the Seahawks' second worst pass defense in the league, so take it for what
But he
you
also
will.
has a fucked up thumb.
Yeah.
As well.
Cooper Kupp actually had 78 yards and got hurt as well. He was limping. Robert Woods had 48 and a touchdown. Cam Akers had 45 yards. So overall, and they sacked Russell Wilson 5 times, I believe. Aaron Donald had 2, Morgan Fox had 1, and Leonard Floyd had 2. The big thing for the Rams this game was Aaron Donald got hurt. He sacked Russell Wilson, and he like twisted him around, and he came down on his ribs, and apparently that is torn rib cartilage or something.
Oh
no!
So it's not good.
I'll put it in a Guzman ball for you, Rob.
Okay.
It looks freakish.
He's suffered torn rib cartilage, but he's going to play, which is people on the internet were like, I had torn rib cartilage and I couldn't roll out of bed. Like, even if he plays, like, he's not gonna be the same. Like, I think it's pretty clear, unless they like inject him with like, I don't know what they're gonna inject them with.
Well, I mean, that's what they do, right? Is like when because whenever people are like, how do they do this? The pain that I was in when I did this is like, well, because they just fucking load them up with drugs, like as much drugs as they can get, like that's what's gonna happen, unfortunately,
especially in the playoffs. Like, they're gonna play. So and the worst part is Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I swear to God, Joe Buck's like, I think it's his knee, and I'm like, what the shit are you talking about? He literally fell on his stomach. He's like, yeah, I think it's his knee, Joe. I was like, oh my God, it was so obvious too, and they said it like 3 times. God, I'm so glad they're doing
his knee.
I'm so glad Joe Buck's doing the Bucks Saints game instead of the Packers game.
Terrific.
Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. God, that is a swollen thumb. Jared Goff said, hey, I'm fine. Sure.
Yeah. I do like that he's given 2 thumbs up in the picture as well.
Yeah.
1.5 thumbs sideways, I think, is a better way for it.
Yeah. So a lot of people have been saying like Packers, Rams, because that's to be the matchup. Packers playing the Rams is actually a good matchup for the Rams. I think it's a bad matchup for the Rams. Here's why. First off, the Rams are going into the cold, and they're all banged up. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you hurt and you go into 20-degree weather, it makes it worse. Especially when the field is like crunchier and frozen, and you're landing on your thumb or you're landing on your ribs. That shit's going to, Or you put in Quadzilla, A.J. Dillon, and he just trucks into you. You know he's going to do that. They're going to be like, yo, run into his ribs, dude. Like, they're going to do that shit.
It's woo.
I'm hoping it snows. I don't think it is. It's supposed to just be like 20, but I can't see Jared Goff with his like swollen thumb throwing it all. Like, it's going to be the Cam Akers show, and the Packers people are like, their run defense sucks. They literally just stopped Derrick Henry the other week. Like, he was held to under 100 yards. Like, they've gotten a lot better. Plus, they signed Snacks Harrison. who's one of the better run defenders in the league. So now you got Kenny Clark and Snacks Harrison. They're going to play a 5-man line, and then they're just going to, we have a solid secondary, so we can play stack the box and just try to stop them. I mean, I can't see the Rams doing
His name is Snacks. So
his name's Snacks.
It was originally taken by the Jets, by the way, and then
Really?
Yeah. Damon Harrison Snacks. That's where he got his nickname with us, and then they traded him. And
the real question is, what kind of snack was he getting when he got that name? Because that
I don't
it wasn't
remember.
just one snack.
He actually has the name Snacks on Twitter as well.
He, I believe, like at Snacks?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's I think he got the nickname under Rex Ryan. So I'm pretty sure what the story was Damon Harrison would do good things, and then Rex Ryan would give him a snack as a treat. And so, like, I think that was how it is that how that's the story? I don't remember. But I think it was actually on the Jets Hard Knocks, way back when. Yeah, I think.
Interesting.
But it's been a long time, so.
It's actually funny because he tweeted, "What kind of animals are in Green Bay? I'm seeing some tracks near my door," and he posted pictures of like snow track prints. So he's getting the full Green Bay experience.
That's funny.
And Green Bay's playing at such a high level, and people are like the defense. They've played against the Colts, who are top defense. They played against the Saints, who are top defense. They scored over 30 on both. So I mean, like, Rodgers, especially at home, knows like it's extremely hard to stop. And the only way I can see the Rams beating the Packers is if they have to pull a Buccaneers, right? They have to get out in front, get a pick six, fumbles, defensive stops. And even then, the Buccaneers had the firepower to go to Gronk and go to Godwin and all these players and Tom Brady to put up 28 points in the first half. The Rams don't have that. The Rams can get a pick six and Rodgers can score in the next 2 seconds. I can't see the Rams winning this game. I really can't. I think it's one of the best outside of the Packers playing the Bears again. I think this was the second best matchup they could have got. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good Packer win, and then I'm scared about who they'll play in the championship. And I know there's going to be Rams fans you're right, but I just don't. I don't see it.
Speaking of matchups we all wanted, the Bucks beat the football team.
I was wondering which one. Yeah.
It was close though.
It was
kind of.
I was happy, then I was sad, then I was mad.
All right, do tell.
Yeah, so Tampa started out great, thinking that this is just going to be a wash. I mean, we just turned the game off now. But turns out Tampa Bay's secondary is still trash. They were getting smoked by Taylor Heineke.
Taylor Heineke.
The Heineke.
He put up 306 yards and a touchdown on the Tampa Bay defense. He was
killing it.
He was taking a test or something a week ago, and then all of a sudden he's in the playoffs playing against the Bucks and torching them.
Our don't forget running for 46 and a touchdown.
Yeah. They let him run all over him. It's Taylor Heineke.
He hasn't played since 2018.
It's not like we're going up against Russell Wilson or, God forbid, a quarterback that's actually built for running like Lamar. It's free, this guy hasn't played in 3 years, and they were just getting smoked. Every single rush. I mean this 100%. If Heineke hadn't been injured, whatever happened to his shoulder or whatever, I almost 100% guarantee you that we would have lost that game. If he somehow wasn't hurt. I don't know what he did, because every single time that they looked at the replay, it's his shoulder wasn't hurt there and his arm wasn't hurt there. So it must have happened early on, and it just started steadily building. But where was Heineke when they were messing with Haskins or Alex Smith?
Yeah, seriously.
Was he on the roster?
No,
I don't think he was. No,
he wasn't.
It's gotta be. It's such a weird why him? There are other QBs that are sitting, right? That
I don't know why they went with him.
I mean, he did great. He was commanding.
I mean, he did. Yeah.
He was rushing. I mean, he was hurt. He was playing through pain, and he was putting up big numbers on a playoff caliber team, I guess. I mean, our defense is really playoff caliber. But the Bucks have got to get it together. If they let Taylor freaking Heineke do that to them, and we think that we're going to beat Aaron Rodgers again in the playoffs, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, or at this rate, Drew Brees.
Hey, yeah, you're looking forward a bit too much.
No, we're going to lose in the next round. I mean, it's going to happen.
It's they'll probably put Taysom Hill in there. Be like, dude, just throw Taysom Hill in there.
The Bucks cannot beat the Saints. So, as much as I hate the Saints, it's not happening this year.
Well, the football team. Honestly, I'm glad they made it. I think they were the best NFC East team.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Same. So good luck to the football team going forward. They gave it their all, and better than we thought they'd do. Well, actually, I picked them to win.
Next year they'll have a name.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a name next year.
Yeah, division champions.
There we go.
Team.
The Washington division champion.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. The thing is that whenever they get a name, it's going to be something fuccking lame, like the Warriors.
Wildcats.
Yeah, the Generals or something.
Yeah, it's going to be dumb. So football team might be their best bet.
Yeah, just stick with the football team, honestly.
All right, fine. God damn it.
Yeah.
So that game happened. Is at least kind of fun. Still better than the Bears game. We'll get to that. Ravens beat the Titans 20-13, and that was a really good game.
That was a good game.
I think we knew it was going to be a good game, and it was. We also had everybody.
That was my lock.
Oh yeah, that's right. The curse is back.
Yep. Yep. You're welcome. You're welcome, Baltimore. You're welcome, Shy. You can go ahead and gift me 50 subs now. That's fine.
Here comes God.
The Titans actually.
Hey, I won the regular season. That's harder to win than playoffs.
So many people in the comments last week were like, "You keep saying Derrick Henry, Steel Hoffa. They got Ryan Tannehill. Like, all right, we get it. All right, Tannehill is good, and AJ Brown is good. Well, they are good.
I didn't know Beavis from Butthead was in the audience.
Derrick Henry had 40 yards on 18 carries. Ravens stopping him, dude. AJ Brown, 83 yards, touchdown. Tannehill, 165, a touchdown and a pick, which was a crucial pick in the last minute of the game.
Yeah.
But aside from that, Titans were holding Lamar pretty well, and then he had two big runs that just blew it open.
Yeah.
Right.
But outside of that, it was a close, hard battle. And these teams hate each other now. The Titans, I think earlier in the season, they danced on the Raven logo, and now the Ravens danced and stomping the Titan logo.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Yeah, there's a full-on. It's fun when teams develop a non-divisional rivalry.
Yeah. Like the Seahawks.
Yeah.
This game was a good representation of what happens when you stop Lamar in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of those two big runs, Lamar didn't really have a great game.
Yeah. No, he didn't.
Yeah,
They really
it felt
shut him
every
down.
time I was tuning back into this game, though, he was breaking off another big run. He had those two huge ones, but he also averaged 8.5 on the ground over the day. He was crushing it.
Yep.
He actually ran one less time than he completed pass. He went 17 of 24 passing, and he ran 16 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're playing.
I think that's kind of right now with how their offense works, because it's so run heavy and they don't seem to care that teams figure that out to some degree or know that they're running. They're just we're just going to keep running.
Yeah.
Lamar's play each game kind of feels like a big play running back. I'm not saying that he's a running back, by the way. I'm not doing that. But I am saying that how some big play running backs they'll be 2 yards a rush, 2 yards a rush, 2 yards a rush, 2 yards a rush, 40 yards.
Yeah.
And then 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards. So and that's kind of this year it does kind of feel like their games are going that way, where it's not every play is working out, and most of them aren't pretty. But every once in a while, Lamar Jackson just does something incredible, and that's enough to win the game because he's just that good.
Well, you just got to give him more and more opportunities to do that, and I think they're finally kind of taking the chance of doing that now, as opposed to trying to incorporate more stuff in the air from from earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to get him more help too next year. Like
Yeah.
he needs more help at wide receiver and tight end and stuff.
I'd probably just keep bolstering the O-line too. Like if you're gonna run that much and everything, like just keep the O-line strong. That's the main thing you need.
Well, I mean, hell, another thing is like if you're gonna, they've been running this system without like one of those, like a dude who you can run the ball 20 times and he's gonna get you like lots of yards, right? Like they've been doing like running by committee. Like if they get like a good running back, man. Imagine like Lamar Jackson with a guy like Alvin Kamara, who could be a free agent.
Oh yeah,
Jesus,
or even Aaron
right?
Jones. Aaron Jones could be a free agent. He could go to Baltimore.
I'm just saying, yeah. Like if they can get or like draft a guy, like they can be really really scary.
Yeah. No, they and they're already scary. They could be
yeah,
scary.
exactly. Yeah, they could win. I mean, they could go win the Super Bowl this year. I think they can.
I think so too. I think that every team currently in the playoffs could probably win the Super Bowl except the Rams.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
well,
Tom
actually,
Brady.
magic is the only
It's
thing.
Brady.
It's
Yeah.
Brady. That's why. So yeah, it was the punt we were talking about earlier. Tennessee decided to punt to Baltimore from the Baltimore 40 on 4th and 2 with 10 minutes in the fourth while losing 13-17.
Yeah, that one really got.
Now, with a surrender index of 138.87, this punt ranks at the 100th percentile of cowardly punts of the 2020 season and the 99.92nd percentile of all punts since 2009.
You punted 25 yards. Like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
and then
the
they just
playoffs.
Playoffs, man.
and it was so dumb
Go
because
for that.
two plays later, the Ravens like already drove down the field. Like
It didn't matter at all. Yeah.
It actually kind of reminded me of last year when the Packers were in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. It was like 4th and 1, and the Packers were doing good the whole time. And then they decided to punt, and I was like, oh, no, they're going to punt, and the 49ers are just going to milk the clock running because our run defense is ass. And my dad was like, no, this is a good punt. And then they punted, and the 49ers ran down the field and scored. And I was like, that's it. We lose. And they did. They got destroyed. It was just war flashbacks, man. So that game was fun. Ravens move on. And then we had the Nickelodeon primetime special.
God, I wish I had watched that on Nickelodeon.
Me
or
too.
Had cable.
Don't worry, I did. Let me fill you in.
Was it great?
It was so good. It was like actually good. Not even like meme good. Like it was like legit good.
Okay.
Yeah. I was curmudgeon-y about it like weeks ago, but that was more because I dislike the NFL's decisions.
That's fair.
I like the cat. Like I know Nate Burleson was one of the commentators. I like him a lot.
Nate Burleson was the main like color commentator.
Oh yeah.
And then I forgot the other
Eagles.
was
the other one.
Yeah, he was the other one, and he was like actually pretty solid. Like he was better than Joe Buck.
Isn't Ian Eagle usually play-by-play?
Or yeah, he was play-by-play. That's what I mean.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I thought, yeah, because they ran three. They had three commentators.
Yeah, and then there was Gabby. Gabby
Oh.
she's like a Nickelodeon like actress girl, so she was like 15,
okay.
so they were banning any jokes people were making, as you would imagine. And they should.
Yep.
So it was.
I did like the sliming touchdown thing. That was really
it was great.
That was really
So,
weird.
It was. Here's the thing. Gabby was kind of like she was a girl who'd never really watched football. Like she just had no knowledge of it, and so she was just like, "Yeah, football seems fun." So like the Saints will punt, and she'd be like, "Wow, they kicked the ball really far," like that type of thing. And then Nate Burleson would just be like. Now he would explain things for people that didn't know what were happening, which was like not even just good for kids, but like just anybody that doesn't know football.
Yeah.
So they would just be like, "Oh, so like this is the referee just called a neutral zone infraction. That's like when the other team just kind of jumps off sides too early. Like you're not allowed to do that." And then they would try to like relate it to some situation. They'd be like, "This is like at lunchtime when you're about to go out to recess and you just run out there too early." And they're like, "Sorry, Tim, you got to come back. That's like going to cost you 2 minutes. You gotta wait. Or they'd be like, when you're in the red zone, it's like you've been doing your homework the whole time, and now the red zone's the test to see if you actually know how to get it. And I was like, that's actually a pretty good, like...
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I was saying, they made a lot of good analogies like that the whole time.
I don't think I made this suggestion the last time, but one of the things that I think that the NFL should be doing is what you were just suggesting, which is just like, but even more specifically, like the commentators should do the kind of things that, Tony Romo does to a limited degree, which is explain the strategy on the field. Because like people are interested by that. I know that there's like an old logic that like people just want to hear personal stories about the players, but like I don't care. I don't know. Do you guys
like the NFL draft where they're like, and his father died of AIDS and his mother died in a car crash?
Just like every time, it's just like you don't need to tell me all this information about this person. Like this
help an old woman across the street one time.
I feel like we're probably not the primary demographic of the NFL, and I base that on the commercials that the NFL plays, because they must know that I don't have the disposable income to buy another car by this point. But anyway, like based on that, like I don't think that me saying this has a lot of merit, but Romo's NFL broadcast is like the pinnacle experience. It does not compare. It's just like you said, like the way that he breaks down strategy and can like Nostradamus the fucking plays before they happen. I love it. It's so entertaining. So like I think you're right that they should get into that more often, or just clone Tony. But
yeah,
it's like I think that is probably the best way to watch right now.
Yeah. It was great. And then they'd have things like on the CBS broadcast, they're just like Jared Cook is ranked at the blah 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 statistics of tight end, and on Nickelodeon they're like Jared Cook likes vanilla and chocolate ice cream. You're like, whoa, awesome! I didn't know that.
Both.
He likes making attacking moves and defensive moves.
Fun fact: Jimmy Graham used to play basketball.
Yeah,
he's so tall.
Oh, they had one thing. They're like Drew Brees and Taysom Hill are like SpongeBob and Patrick. They're like good friends out there.
I loved that. What was that meme that you linked us in the chat? That was like whoever's getting punched in the face is similar to SpongeBob being punched by Patrick. Like,
someone
so
memed it up. It just showed a dynamic duo, SpongeBob and Patrick.
Right.
It shows him punching him, and that's Javon Wims and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson punched in mouth.
Wait, I will say they're not like SpongeBob and Patrick, but they are like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
They actually are, yeah.
Right?
That would have been a better comparison. You're right.
I'm just saying.
They should hire you.
Another shout out
Deeper
to Jimmy
lore.
Graham, by the way. Not only did he play football, but he went out like a fucking badass.
Oh, yeah. One-handed grab.
For this game. Yeah, the one-handed touchdown grab and just runs out the exit and leaves. Like,
yeah.
Apparently no one even saw him come back. He just went to the locker room before the game ended at that point. He's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm done.
That's hilarious. That would be actually the dopest shit if he just like ran out. like yeah, no, if he ran out of the stadium, didn't go to the locker room, called a taxi, and retired. just retired,
taking off the gear in the fucking taxi.
Yeah. Just a walk-off touchdown retirement. That'd be the greatest.
Still has the ball.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying it'd be hilarious by the fourth quarter if Gabby was giving in-depth analysis. Like the first quarter, she legit was like, they're playing good and trying hard out there for the Bears. And then the fourth quarter, she's just like, Trubisky needs to stop like eyeing down receivers. Like he needs to manipulate the linebackers and safeties with his eyes, and instead of telegraphing his decisions.
They're running a too deep coverage here. I don't really understand why they could. But on this look, it just makes no sense.
Why are they playing nickel again? I don't get it.
The very first ever MVP awarded to
Mitch Trubisky.
No, Mick Trubisky.
Mick Trubisky.
Yeah, that was just like the insult to injury for the Bears.
It's like, why are you gonna do that to the poor fucking guy?
He's gonna lose out on his big contract extension. He's gonna have to go somewhere, but he won the MVP. That's
Good for you.
Mick Trubisky.
I mean,
Mick Trubisky.
That's just a stink that you won't be able to wash off.
We should link that video if people haven't seen the Mick Trubisky. Basically, if you didn't see it, it was they gave the Nickelodeon Very Player Award. I don't know what the hell it was.
Nickelodeon Valuable Player.
But they gave it to Mitch Trubisky, but the poor kid goes up on in front of the camera. He doesn't know who this guy is, and he goes, "It's Mick Trubisky." That MVP.
It's so good.
It's incredible.
Oh my god! There's one point where Gabby. It was actually funny because like normally you've got like fucking Troy Aikman or like whoever the shit doing the thing. Like, oh, not jump. But Gabby was like, "Hey Nate, what's it like to be tackled?" And it was like an actual good question. I was like, what is it like to be tackled? And Nate was like, he's like, oh man, it's kind of like falling down wooden stairs. It's kind of like when you wake up and fall out of bed and fall onto rocks. Like I was like, oh my god, it's like when you get hit by a car.
That happens all the time. It's like experience
like,
for these guys.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
Ball just for you, Rob.
Thank you. Yeah, we should link it in the description. I have seen it, but because I saw it when Grendor linked it. But.
Somebody was like, "What's it like to be tackled?" And he's like, "This is fucking blood sport, Gabby." That's so good. Oh, the other great comment. My last good comment from the thread. Someone said. They were out here explaining what the red zone is, saying you're likely to score a touchdown, straight up lying to all the Raider kid fans.
The Bears, too, actually.
Yeah, Jets, too.
Yeah. So, in terms of just non-Nickelodeon memes, the game was just, it was just a blowout.
Oh, yeah, it was just a wash.
Bears actually had a chance. They did a little trick play and then threw a bomb to...
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful.
It was like Trubisky's best throw, I think, of his career.
Yeah.
And Javon Wims just dropped it. It was like, I don't know if Marquez Valdez-Scantling like coughed on him the week before, but like it was bad. And then Anthony Miller just punched a dude. Again, he punched the same guy that Javon Wims punched like the other game or whatever. And this is the best part. Matt Nagy and the coaching staff held a meeting to talk about that corner. What's his name? I don't know, whatever his name was, because of his trash talking. And the last time they played, they punched him because of the trash talking. And even after that meeting, he still punched him.
Like, all it was confirmed for him. I'm gonna punch the shit out of it.
I kind of want to know what the trash talk was. Like,
I want to know now too. Like, mic him up at this point.
Must have been good.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's his name. That dude's got to have like some of the best trash talk next to like Jalen Ramsey or whatever. Like, it's actually impressive. Like, you have to have a meeting to not get your mind warped by his trash talk.
See, this is what I mean. Is like we don't get. Not only do the commentators, for the most part, not give us the strategy on the field, which is like an incredibly crucial element of football, but we also don't get like the other fun strategy that happens on the field of like, because like all the players fucking trash talk each other like on every play, and they're always fucking with each other. Like, I bet you on every punt where a guy goes for a fair kick or whatever, a fair catch. Yeah. Like, when the dudes show up, they're just like, don't miss it, don't drop it. What are you gonna do? Funny to just listen to on the broadcast.
I mean, we did that in high school, so.
I know Rogers was talking about trash talk on the Pat McAfee show, and it was funny because he said, he's like, that one dude on the Titans, man, he just kept being like, hey, Rogers, he like keep talking to him, and he said then the score, they were up by 20 points, and he just walked up to him and was like, scoreboard. Like, just, you don't say anything to the dude who's trash talking you the whole game. At the end, you're just like, hey, we're winning. Like, that's all you gotta do.
Big shout out to New Orleans Saints defensive tackle number 99, Shy Tuttle.
Shy Tuttle.
That is
Shy
adorable.
Tuttle. He's a little Shy Tuttle.
What an adorable person.
It is pretty adorable. And then Drew Brees actually did pretty solid. 28-39, 265, 2 touchdowns. Kamara had 99 yards and a touchdown rushing. And the Bears just didn't. I felt, there's one
in there, dude.
Yeah.
There's a guy that called up on Chicago sports radio this week, and he's like, "I don't know why everyone's giving the Bears a hard time. They almost beat the Saints earlier. They're gonna go out there." I'm like, "Dude, it's the playoffs. Like, and the Bears aren't good. They're gonna go out, and then here we are. They got 9 points. Have fun."
They barely got 9 points. They got 3 points. They got 9 points at the very end of the game.
Yeah. Granted, they should have had barely. They should have had that touchdown still. So I'll give them.
That's true. And that would have put them up at that point, right? They would have been up 10, 10 7
that was
or something.
it was a momentum killer, I think. Like that happened and they were like, here, it's over.
If they I agree. Actually, if they had hit that, they would have probably kept rolling and shit and fit. But yeah, no.
The Matt Nagy play calling, the thing with Matt Nagy's play calling this whole time has been like, just play safe. And he played safe like till the fourth quarter. It's like, you got to do something.
Yeah, like, especially against the Saints.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Oh my God, I forgot the most important part. The first F-bomb on Nickelodeon.
Yep.
Oh, wait, really?
That was great.
The mic was picked up. The referee's mic got picked up, and I don't know who was standing there. And all you hear is, "What the fuck?"
The announcers even reacted to it. It was pretty funny.
Dude, I would have loved it so much if they had on deck or like ready to go a kill button that played the censorship sound effect from SpongeBob. That was
that would be hilarious.
The dolphin noise. That would have been great. But I actually enjoy hearing the players more. Like, you get to hear all the calls and the players like talking on the field and shouting things. Like, it's great. Or even like the other week where he's just like, "Come on, Kirk," to Kirk Cousins when he couldn't do it. Or last week, Devontae Adams got held on his one thing and he like yelled at the referee. He's like, "You fucking kidding me?" He's like screaming. It was good.
Here you go, Rob. Putting it in Foosball again for you.
Hell yeah.
So the Saints win, they move on, and they'll take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then, finally, we had the Cleveland Meme Magic Browns defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
My goodness, 28 points in the first quarter.
That's the most of any team, right?
Yeah.
Like any time in history of the playoffs, the Browns came in hot.
It was crazy.
Overrated. Clap, 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 clap. Overrated.
I wish Apollo was here to talk about this.
Dude, he was like, during the game, I went to a stream and I was like, "Apollo, what is your team doing?" And like every single one of his mods and viewers were like, "Oh, no updates, no sports ball updates. Oh, ban the sports ball updates." I was like, why?
Fair.
Because he's not watching it. He said that if they're not going to do what they're supposed to do, then he doesn't care. Like,
well,
I was like, all right, well, they're losing.
Yeah.
I guess he knew something I guess we actually knew it too. The Steelers were overrated.
Yeah. Although it was only myself and Bear Taffy, I believe, that picked the Browns to win this game.
That's true.
Yep.
I did think the Steelers were going to have a comeback game, and they didn't. They really were overrated. They got good receivers. Deontay Johnson and Juju did pretty well. 157 yards and touchdown. Juju, Deontay at 117, although they were mocking his TikTok dance on the sideline.
When you throw for 501,
I mean, most
that's not enough.
After they were down 28-0.
Yeah.
So they were playing. Like, he threw 70 fucking times.
Yeah. I mean, he also threw 4 picks, and 3 of them were in the first fucking quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, his next pass, Big Ben's gonna wind up and go for the throw, and his arm is just gonna go with the football. It's gonna fly through the air.
Well, I don't know if you heard after the game, but Marquise Pouncey was talking to Roethlisberger on the sidelines, and he's like, "Sorry, brother, you're the only reason I wanted to do this, man. I feel worse for you than me. I hate it." And now he announced he's retiring, so it's.
Oh.
I think Ben's gonna retire too. I think it's over for the Steelers.
Oh wait, Pouncey's retiring?
Damn. Yeah.
Dude. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, come on, that sucked. He had such a great career.
But
Yeah.
it's raw. That's also raw emotion talking though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the entire world sucks whenever you lose like that. So
Yeah. So it
give
just
him a week.
Yeah,
Yep.
hopefully it doesn't.
I think it was pretty obvious this was like their big final run, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
it's crazy because like the Steelers' defense was supposed to be like their big thing, and they gave up 48 points.
Yep.
Well, I mean, in fairness, like the half, how many of the 28 points in the first quarter were from offense? I think it was only 7, right?
Was it? Well, there's the bad snap touchdown.
Right.
There was that one, and then there was like a what's it called? Tip to the line, pick 6,
Oh yeah.
and
Well,
then
So I guess that's
think,
like 14. The other is 3 touchdowns for Baker and 2 for Kareem Hunt. So that's 5.
No, in the first quarter they had a Landry 40-yard catch for a touchdown. Then Kareem
yeah.
ran twice for TDs. That
Yeah.
was well.
The Browns just came out on fire.
yeah, no, they killed it. Yeah,
And there was a moment where the Steelers were coming back, and you were like, uh-oh. And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, the
And
Browns
then
again.
it was a little worrying, but I think so. Like the commentators were calling it out, and like people on the internet were calling it out, is because basically the Browns went into prevent defense in the second quarter, which is. But the thing is, that's not exactly what happened. Apparently, I'm not sure. I haven't really watched like the game tape, but I mean, just from like reading discourse on the internet, they were kind of in the prevent defense in the first quarter too. It wasn't really prevent. That was them trying to make plays on tip balls, because apparently their whole game plan was around tipping the ball at the line, because they thought that was where they were gonna get the most play. And they were right, by the way, right? I mean, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So apparently that was the game plan, was to have a bunch of guys deep, because apparently they have, I say apparently a lot, turns out,
Apparently.
their secondary is a problem right now, and their D line is good, so they wanted to do that with the game plan. I don't know. It seems like it was all part of the plan, even though it got really, really close.
Yeah. There was actually a point where Pittsburgh, again, bad punt decisions. Pittsburgh decided to punt to Cleveland from the Pittsburgh 46 on 4th and 1 with 14:52 remaining in the fourth, while losing 23-35, which was 94th for 2020 and 92nd since 2009. Like 4th and 1, just quarterback sneak it.
Yeah.
Like, come
Well,
on.
I mean, I maybe Ben can't do that anymore,
Yeah, maybe it's true. I mean, it's just you're
because
down.
he used to do that just fine, right?
Yeah, you're down
This is
12 in the fourth quarter, and you've got momentum. Like, you
Yeah.
want to keep that momentum, right? And then as soon as they punted it back, I think that's when the Browns just scored again. Like,
That's just not. I mean, that's not playing to win.
yeah, it's not playing to win, and you just can't do that. And it's just funny, is all the teams that had these situations of punting all lost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And the Browns look good.
Browns look good. They're gonna give Kansas City a run for their money.
I think the Browns can win that game. I'm telling you straight up.
I think they can too. There's
Yeah.
also Kareem Hunt going back to Kansas City. I didn't even realize.
That's true.
This is it's gonna be fun. So
And coach is gonna be back with them this time.
oh yeah,
right?
Stefanski. And it's funny because he said he was watching from his home, and he's like, my kids upstairs were screaming, and I was 40 seconds behind. Everyone's like, dude, he's watching Buff Stream.
wait, excuse me. What? I don't know what program you're.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I've never heard of that.
I watched.
What period is this? A periodical or some sort of editorial?
Oh yeah, I think
that's
it's the stream was just very strong. That's
Ah,
why I
yes,
said
yes.
that. I don't know what
Of
stream
course.
it would be. It's just
Who
really-
would know?
yeah, I don't know.
Who would know
Um,
these things?
I have no idea. So great game, and now we've got some divisional matchups. But wait, is there power rankings?
There's more.
There is.
Oh, all right,
Ooh.
power rankings. So, Vic,
All right. Thank you, Rob.
No
Here
problem.
we go. Power rankings, coach, after wild card weekend going on into the playoffs. Now, I will say that we only have the teams that, well, they
Yep.
kind of the ones that are left here.
Yeah.
It's playing audio. Stop this.
Oh, that's not good.
I hate
Okay.
that.
Top 5 of the power rankings. Go, Rob.
Okay, so let's just say it's definitely not the Seahawks. Let's say Chiefs.
Yep. Bear.
Packers.
Yep. Coach.
Browns.
Oh,
Rob.
Dang.
Saints.
Yep. Bear.
Bills.
That is correct. And Coach for the dunk.
Buccaneers.
Rob.
Ravens.
That is correct. The top 5 of the NFL Power Rankings, playoff rankings on NFL.com. Kansas City 1, Buffalo 2, Packers 3, Saints 4, and Ravens 5. Bucks actually vaulting into the 6th position, going over Seattle. Big surprise there. And the Pittsburgh Steelers also are gone, and that's basically it. Now,
Yeah.
the Browns are surprisingly, I would say, I would maybe even, dude, it's still playing audio. Stop. It's like it's still playing. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You could right click the tab and hit mute site.
No,
I do
but
that all the
but the
time.
video, the video stuff. How does this browser thing work? Anyway, true or false, Robert?
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns are ranked above the Tennessee Titans in the NFL Power Rankings and the Playoff Rankings.com Power Rankings.
If I'm gonna say true, because if it is not, that is just absurd disrespect.
Yeah.
That is correct. The Browns are indeed ranked number 8. They did vault over the Tennessee Titans, who are sitting at 9th. With the rest of the losers. We're not gonna count the losers here. Now,
Yeah.
as far as the thinnest dink, because there's no fattest doink, because there's just not. The thinnest dink. This one should be easy for y'all, but I'll leave it up to a committee. This team went from dead last in the wild card rankings to going to the divisional rounds. They have risen 5 spots, going from last to 7th. Name that team. You don't get any hints. Bear.
It's got to be Cleveland.
Rob.
The Bucks.
And Coach.
Rams.
That is correct.
Whoa.
The Rams. The
Oh.
Los Angeles Rams are indeed ranked above the Browns, even though it was despite the biggest win in Browns history, with the Rams going up to the 7th spot, which was surprising. And like I said, there's no, I guess I could do the fattest doink. Sure, you know what? Let's do the fattest doink. Why not?
Yeah.
It's tied between 2 teams.
Okay.
All right. Both of these teams are no longer in the playoffs. They both fell 4
Who could
spots.
it be?
Surprise, surprise. And Rob, all you got to do is just guess one of the 2 teams.
The Titans.
They both fell 4 spots. Bear
The Titans also. I also picked the Titans.
and Coach.
Bears.
And you are all incorrect. It is the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers both falling 4 spots.
I
The
still
Bears,
picked the Titans.
yeah,
That's a good pick.
the Bears actually did. They actually went up from 15th to 14th. So good job, Bears. But they're not in. And
That's probably because they got MVP Mitch Trubisky.
no Mick
Trubisky.
Nick Trubisky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for funsies, I am going to I will read the Buccaneers write up, just because I don't have the Jets write up, because the Bucs will inevitably lose this week. Yeah. Chase Young did the talking. Tom Brady did the work. Brady was sharp in his 42nd career playoff game and his first without Bill Belichick, going for 381 and 2 touchdowns with a 31-23 over the Washington football team. Brady is in the groove right now since Tampa's Week 13 bye. The veteran has thrown for 14 touchdowns and against a single interception over 5 straight wins. Wow. Compare that to the 4 games before the Bucs bye, where Brady tossed 8 TDs and 7 picks in a 1-3 stretch. A well-protected Brady's attacking defenses at every level, and the trio of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown are simply too much for opposing secondaries. Throw that with an extremely flattering George Blanda side-by-side graphic, and life is pretty good for the GOAT right now. What else is new? And that's all for the playoff power rankings. Back up to Krendor, Bear Taffy, and Alpaca Patrol in the booth.
Guys, can you? I'm looking at this schedule. I'm a little confused. Where are the Patriots? I thought for sure when I saw this, when we saw the divisional round and the number 1 seeds would show up, that the Patriots would be there. Well, I don't see the Patriots. Where's the Patriots?
It's a HTML error.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just Tom
I
Brady's
figured it was like a website thing. Yeah,
Tom Brady's
turns
uniform got
out-
changed.
Yeah, it turns out they moved to Tampa Bay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was the whole thing.
that's
Yeah.
why he's
That's
playing there. Okay,
So look, Gronk's there too. It's like the whole team.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, okay, that worked out.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right.
But I wanted to mention something, by the way.
Okay.
So the Browns getting their win is like historic for them. That's their first playoff win in 18 years.
Playoff.
96, right?
Actually, the Bills
Yeah.
got their first win since like
Yes.
15 years too.
Yeah, it was a huge weekend for both those teams, and I'm very happy for both of them. Honestly, like even the Bills, even though they're in my division, I'm happy for them. I do like the
Yeah,
Bills.
good for the Bills. They've been a punching bag forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean they've basically been in my shoes, so like I can't feel bad. Like
They've
bad
been your
about them
punching
winning.
bag forever, Bear.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
No, I've been beating the shit out of them personally for the last.
yeah. But what happens now that the Bills and the Browns have killed their playoff drought,
Yeah.
you know who has the longest?
Could it be
Oh,
the
no.
New York Football Jets?
That's right.
Really? It's only been like a decade.
Yeah, and that's the longest, 10 years.
Yeah, because
Apparently.
the Bucks were second in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Well.
so
They're due up.
yeah. Well,
Go Bucks! Go Bucks! Go Bucks!
well, if we're anything like the Browns, we got another 8 years. So
Yeah. Have fun.
yeah.
Pick 'em.
Pick'ems!
Pick'ems. So last week in Pick'ems, the best was Rob, 6-1,
Yeah.
followed by Bear and Discord at 5-2, me at 3-4, and Sinvicta at 2-5.
Here comes gone. Sorry, I did it before. I don't have to do it twice.
So
You did it twice, Bear.
I did do
some
it
fun
twice.
facts. Bear is the only one whose career Pick'ems record is better in the playoffs than regular season.
Come on,
18-10 in the
counts,
playoffs.
baby.
The guys are now 4-7 all time with their locks for wild card games. Rob 3-0, Bear 1-1, Krendor Sinvicta 0-3. Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
This is the first time Krendor and Rob have picked different teams for a wild card game. Previously, they had chosen all the same teams. And
That was the funniest thing. Yeah.
I guess I should have did that this year as well.
Yeah.
This is also the first time someone picked against the Ravens in a playoff game. It coincides with the Ravens' first playoff wins since the podcast began.
The Ravens are. We didn't mention this stat real quick. The Ravens are 6-0 in road wild card games. That's
Wow.
nuts.
That is
actually is
wild,
nuts.
actually. Yeah.
Well,
By the way, just a really, I'll very, very briefly here, in case anybody didn't know, the Ravens are actually the Browns. They were
yeah, that's
who
right.
the Browns were, and then once the Browns started getting good, the fucker Art Modell moved the team to Baltimore and changed
Yeah.
it to the Ravens,
that he did.
and then they won the Super Bowl a year later.
You gotta
Yeah,
love
they
it.
did.
That's some Cleveland Browns luck.
Yep.
And Bear and Sinvicta have yet to correctly predict a Titan playoff game, 0-4. Additionally, 3 of their 4 games
Yeah.
were Sinvicta's lock of the week, making him 0-7 overall.
Lock curse is in full swing, coach.
Titans
0-7
fans
now.
hate him.
You must have done something very cruel to a
There
lock.
is literally no way that anyone else could do that except me. So if you want me to curse the other team, all you got to do is send a one-time payment of $5,000
Yep.
to Sinvicta on PayPal.
That
It's gonna work.
explains the fucking fumble call in the
But he
Colts
was-
game.
You're supposed to curse the 49ers last year, and it didn't happen.
True.
It didn't happen.
What? I'm 0-7.
Well, Titans.
Yeah. Oh, Titans. Yeah.
I just last year the championship game, I said please curse the 49ers. You did,
Right,
and then they didn't get cursed.
They won.
They won.
You got cursed because you didn't pay me the $5,000. And
That would be what
That's got to be what it
makes
is.
You have to pay your tithings.
Yeah,
That's how
I
it
sent it
works.
to that guy from Nigeria that wanted it in my email instead.
Well, that was probably worth it too.
That was
Yeah.
worth it. I'm going to be getting like $60 billion soon. It's going to be
That's a good
fantastic.
investment.
Yeah.
I read a story. I don't know if it was true. It was probably like a meme, but it was like one lady answered one of those emails, and she did actually like end up getting married to some, like a rich guy in
That was
Nigeria.
written by someone from Nigeria.
It had to have been,
Yeah, just like put it in the new email chain.
They've got Nigerian princes. I mean, you step over them whenever you're walking in the streets. There's so many
Yeah.
princes.
Pick'ems, Packers,
Pick'ems.
Rams. I'll be locking the Packers.
I will be taking the Packers.
I'm taking the Packers too.
I'll be taking the Packers.
All right.
Oh, this feels
Fantastic.
wrong. I feel like we might have just cursed this.
I don't think so.
No, this is they're gonna win. Dude.
I didn't lock, so it's not cursed.
He didn't lock it. We're okay.
That's a good point. That's
Yep.
a good point.
Ravens, Bills.
Hmm.
God.
I'm going to be taking the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
So my gut said Bills.
Yeah, I think the Bills are the better team.
I
Weirdly,
think-
yeah, I think you're right.
I'm going to take
Like
the Bills too.
Ravens-
I like the Bills.
The Ravens obviously have a much larger big play threat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Bills
I
have
mean-
that defense.
yeah, the Bills defense
Bills
is
got a
solid.
defense.
Josh Allen's been killing it. Stephon Diggs is on fire. Like they're looking really good.
The
Yeah.
Titans shut down Lamar. Their defense is way worse than the Bills.
The Bills
Yeah.
actually beat the Ravens earlier in the season, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah,
What was
they
the
did.
score in that one?
That's
it was high scoring,
It
wasn't
was like 470-2.
Goodness.
It was. Hold on, let's see. Was it week 1? No,
Way
that was a
back
different season. I think it was week 14. Was it week 14?
The
It
Bills
was.
beat the Ravens
Oh wait,
back in
the Ravens.
2012.
Oh wait, that was 2019. What the shit is?
yeah,
Well,
it's 2 years
either
ago.
way, I'll go with
We're
the Bills.
getting older. We're gonna,
Yeah.
our brains.
Who am I?
In 1944, George Blanda threw a touchdown to a Raven.
His name was Tom Brady, I think.
It exploded.
Yep. It sure did.
It was incredible.
I guess it was.
Crazy how a pin just fell out of the ball.
Yeah, I guess they didn't play. I'm just don't listen to
All
me.
right, well, yeah, I'll go Bills then.
I'm going Bills. All right.
I'm going Bills, but yeah, I mean, I actually think that this might be like a really high scoring game
I think
between
so, too.
like a Baker, like when Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson showed off earlier in the
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like that might happen again here.
Yeah.
With Lamar and Josh Allen. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think so. Then we have Browns Chiefs. I know someone's
You know
doing
what?
it.
I'm,
Go
locking,
Browns.
I'm locking the Chiefs here.
That's fair.
Oh.
I'm going Browns.
Woo!
I'm wishing it
Browns
true.
Magic.
And not only am I wishing it true, I think it can happen.
I think it can
too.
happen, but I think the odds are probably like less than 5%.
And that's why I'm taking
Maybe.
the Cleveland Browns.
Let's go!
Whoa!
Go Browns! I'm sorry,
I-
Apollo.
I will be taking the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. That seems fair and reasonable.
Yeah. Oh
Yep.
my God, I see what Sinvicta's doing here. All right, Buccaneers Saints.
I
Yep.
will be locking the 12-4 New
doing it.
Orleans Saints.
He's cursed them.
Oh,
Oh my
Go
God, it's
Saints.
genius.
Oh, wow. He said it out loud and he didn't explode.
No, I
he's-
said go. It's GEAUX, Barrett. I didn't say
Ah,
go Saints,
yeah.
so that's the reason why it didn't work.
good point.
Go
makes sense.
Saints.
It's foolproof plan. If he wins,
Who dat they're gonna beat them Saints?
this
Who
is-
dat?
Who dat?
That's
Who
true.
dey? Like the Bengals are who dey, right? Or who
I
dat?
don't know.
I don't
They're
know.
all stupid.
They are. I'm gonna pick. You know what? I'm gonna pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Woo! Considering your record last week, I feel bad that I agree.
Oh.
My gut said the Bucks for some reason, and so I'm going with it.
That's what I thought too. But the Saints did like absolutely shit on them the last time they played.
Yeah. Man. Like, I
don't know if they just got the Bucks number.
That's totally fair.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm picking Bucks because I want to root for Tom in his second to last season.
All right. Yeah. You know what? I'm going Saints because now I just talked myself out of it.
God damn it! No.
I was like, God, they really did get destroyed last time. Yeah, I'm going.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
they destroyed them. Yeah,
Coach, are you sure you want to go with the Invicta locked Saints?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am.
Go Bucks.
I'd
also rather play the Saints in the championship game.
This is gonna be whatchamacallit, right? Like since the last game, the oldest game in history, right? Between two QBs.
Dude, yeah. Like I'm so excited to actually like watch this game in its entirety too, because
the old man bowl.
This is a significant game, man. It's the Breeze Brady that we've always wanted in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Does anyone know if they're going to be Twitch priming this one?
I don't know.
If they are, we should all definitely watch it and stream it.
I don't know.
Well, I don't think we can stream it. Like we can't. Like
you can restream it.
I
think.
I think only certain people can restream it.
Yeah, like you need to be in the special click.
Well, hey, I'm a person.
They don't know who we are.
I mean, this is what everybody's been waiting. Is like Breeze, Brady, Rogers. Like these are all
like,
ready
I'm
to go.
cheering for the Bucks win so that we can see Brady Breeze and Brady Rogers this year.
I swear to God, if Jared Goff's broken ass thumb somehow pulls this off, I'm gonna be. Yeah. I might be more upset than when the 49ers absolutely ran over us.
You guys realize this is the last time in history that we're going to be able to see Breeze, Brady, Rogers.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Breeze is done after this.
Yeah.
Is he? I mean,
he seems pretty done.
Yeah.
I mean, he already signed.
Him has pretty much said it, so yeah.
He signed an NBC deal to be an announcer or something. He's lining up.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's literally going to be done after this.
Yeah. So.
Go Saints!
Don't ruin it, Rams. Just they're all banged up. Just let Aaron Donald rest. He needs it. You know.
Yeah.
Break. Okay. All right. Well,
wait. Hold on. I need to lock someone.
Oh, you got to lock.
Fuck it. I'm locking the Browns. Let's go.
Woo!
There you go.
Love it. That'll do it for this week. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week for some intense championship round football analysis, and it's gonna be good. And that's all we got. See you later. Bye. And stop.